So with this receptacle, what we have is just simply a wore out receptacle. It's seen a lot of plugging in and out in its life. Example. That's how loose that looks. But it works. However, this is actually a fire hazard. The customer made a wise choice by wanting to get this replaced. We're going to go ahead and take care of that.
Oh, 'cause it's loose? Arky sparky?
So what we have here is this receptacle is actually daisy chain, and all that means is it's one out of a chain link of X amount of receptacles in a given circuit. So you'll notice how it's coming down, and it simply just ties in here. That's it, and they land together, and this is technically where these two are spliced. This is okay, but for my standard it's not. What I'll actually end up doing is taking these and putting I'll basically wire nut these together and stick them back there. So, because what happens is one of these terminals actually become loose, then you're feeding the rest of the circuit a bad connection. This can be a fire hazard, but this is technically not against electric code. This is just it's just not that good of a craftsmanship.
What he means to say is it's not good daisies.
Now this is what I call sex on the beach. Unless your significant other does not like sex on the beach, well, then it's just okay. Alright, so what we have here is we have aluminum daisy chain, bink, bink, and this is my way. This is good craftsmanship, is to make your connections and push them back. You'll notice that this here is aluminum and copper. I mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. Anytime you have dissimilar metals, they actually corrode. It's okay to have aluminum, it's okay to have copper, but when you do it, you should be adding a compound known as NOx. And this prevents the connections from corroding. Corroding equals resistance, and resistance equals heat, and heat, well, we get the idea.
Fire! Cool! Yeah!
What we have here is we simply have the wire nuts with the wires coming out of the back. And what this allows is instead of daisy chaining to the actual tabs on the receptacle themselves, like I mentioned earlier before, if connection's loose, it could feed the rest of the circuit with a bad connection here. Makes troubleshooting very difficult, and this is obviously very dangerous. I prefer to make my connections like this. That way it connects to back here in this wire nut, and if the break's here, it doesn't affect everything else.
So yes, you're trying to make your work look very, very nice. Meanwhile, you got your foreman breathing down your back, wondering why you're making a career out of the one receptacle.
How the hell isn't this done? You've been sitting there for the last 2.5 minutes. Done. Get it there.
And voila, finished product. Looks great.
And of course, if you're like sitting there like wondering if you actually did a good job, well,
I'll always be watching whatever I have to do to protect my city.
Say it.
If you like, subscribe more videos.